we don't see everything clearly because we have not healed our own inner child.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like, so if you don't heal your own inner child, your own energy, it's like, the analogy that I like to use is like you have a window which is dirty,
Yeah.
and you get a cloth which is dirty, and you just keep rubbing it, but it's never going to get clean. You're not going to see clearly because your soul, your inner self, is still hurt. And so let's say if this cloth is your soul,
Yeah.
and it's dirty, you can't clean the window to look around you to have a clear vision to what's going on with your adult child.
That is an excerpt from a wonderful conversation that you're going to hear in this episode today. You're going to meet Tatiana. She actually lives halfway around the globe from me in Cyprus. Yes, that's one of the Greek islands. And as you can already hear in her voice, she is gentle and kind and compassionate. She has an incredibly high emotional IQ, as well as being incredibly intelligent. And she actually specializes in helping others heal their relationships with adult children, their own family members, and even in the workplace. By trade, she is a certified NLP practitioner, that's Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and a certified RTT therapist, that is Rapid Transformational Therapy, and a certified hypnotherapist. So she brings a wealth of professional knowledge. She is convinced that our results are linked to an imprint and to the beliefs that were created inside our subconscious mind from past experiences and to our present constant thoughts. She says the good news is that we can create or recreate our present status by changing that imprint, the beliefs, and our thoughts. She's married and has 2 wonderful sons who are her best supporters. She has a strong faith in God, and you're going to hear how she has stepped forward with her life and wants to continue helping others. And let's dive in. Hello, beautiful Redlow women. How are you today? It's Terry here, your coach and biggest cheerleader. I'm here to put a little bit of inspiration in your day. Welcome to the Redlow Women podcast, where we empower midlife women to reclaim their confidence, rise higher, and step boldly into their next chapter. And we do it together. I became a midlife entrepreneur after overcoming my own self-doubt to start this podcast, write my book, and coach women just like you. And I did it all in my 50s. I knew I wanted more after navigating my own life transitions, overcoming some really hard things, and trying to figure out what was next. As I did, I decided to help you do the same. So grab your warm cup of coffee or step into your favorite tennis shoes and let's step forward together. Let's go. Well, hello, everyone. I am so excited about my podcast guest today. She lives halfway around the world from me. We have met online, and you heard a little bit about her background in the intro that I just said. So let's dive into this. I'd love for you to meet Tatiana. Hello, Tatiana. Welcome, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Terry. Hello, Terry. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm just so excited. We've actually met online, and so this is just such a gift. I didn't say your last name because I can't pronounce it, and it's part of your story. So can you tell everyone your full name and tell them where you live and the meaning of your last name? We were just talking about this before we hit record, and it's so beautiful that I'd love for you to share that. So kind of dive in and tell everybody a little bit about where you're from.
My name is Tatiana Shukuroglou. I am from Cyprus. It's an island in the Mediterranean, and I speak Greek. It's my language is Greek. It's a Greek island. So the Shukuroglou is actually a Turkish surname because my family, my grandfather, in the 1920s, they came on a boat to Cyprus as refugees. They used to live in Asia Minor. It was called then Asia Minor. Now it's Turkey. And a lot of Greeks had to leave their homes as refugees. And my grandfather was the eldest of 5 siblings, and he came to Cyprus with his parents. And even though they were Greeks, they had Turkish surnames. And that last part, the Oglu, means the son of. And so the Shukur means thank you. So I guess they gave them the name of the son of thankfulness, which it's really nice because it's actually I feel grateful every day and grateful
Aw.
for being here. And so this is the story of my surname, which I'm really proud of. And
Yeah.
thank God my husband doesn't mind that I keep my surname and not his.
Oh, I didn't
Because
I
here,
didn't
yeah, in
I didn't know you
Cyprus, we
did that.
usually, when we get married, we take our husband's surname, but I kept mine and he's really fine about it.
Ah, well, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. So thank you for sharing. It's just for me, I'm just so intrigued with who people are,
Mm.
and it just I love just connecting with people, and for you to be halfway around the world and just to share that story about your background, I it's just it's beautiful. It's a wonderful way to start this day. So has deep
Thank
meaning
you.
and great family heritage. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for
Um,
asking.
you're welcome. As I was going through your bio, I saw that you went to Boston University. So that's where two of my boys went. I was like, oh, no way. So share a little bit about that. So your background, you came to the US for your education.
Yes, yes. Many years ago, I was class of 1987.
Wow.
So, so yeah, so that's actually a nice story how I began and how I'm here where I am now. So when I was 18 and I finished high school, we had to decide what to study.
Mm-hmm.
My twin sister, she knew from the very beginning that she wanted to be a kindergarten teacher, and she studied also in BU, early childhood education. Yeah, we went
Okay.
together. Yes.
Aw.
Myself, because I didn't know, I said, okay, I will study business administration because my father had a family-owned business. So I said, okay, let's study business administration, which I did. I did well. So coming back to Cyprus, I started working for a while with my parents and my father's company. But then I realized that I found my inclination in design.
Mm.
So I studied interior design in Cyprus, and I worked as an interior designer for a while. And then around at the age of, around when you're 40, 45, you start to um, get these questions about your why am I here on this earth? What am I doing? Should I have a purpose, or what my purpose is?
Yeah.
So I was searching, and one evening I was watching an interview on TV, and it was this father with beard. Men here when they're mourning, they have when somebody dies from their family, they leave their beards. And so he was talking about his 14-year-old son who
Mm-hmm.
committed suicide
Oh.
because he was really bullied and he didn't know what else to do. He couldn't talk to his father because the reason why he was bullied, it was something that he did that was bad. So he couldn't talk to about his father, and he couldn't take the bullying, and he committed suicide. And that's when I said, "Oh my God, why are these kids doing this to
Mm.
each other?" So I did this training for a program from the United States, actually,
Okay.
for self esteem and life skills for children of
Uh-huh.
7 to 12,
Okay.
which I did and I enjoyed. But then I realized that us grown-ups need a lot of help because we are also the parents.
Right.
So I did a lot of searching, self-development. I also needed some healing for myself as well.
Mm.
So through self-development, I found out first about NLP, the Neuro-Linguistic Programming,
Yeah.
which is actually your results have to do with what you're thinking
Mm.
constantly. And your thinking is your own, you're in control of your thoughts. So if you control your thoughts, you control your feelings and then your results, because your thoughts become feelings and your feelings become actions and your
Mm-hmm.
actions become results. After I finished the NLP, I still wasn't satisfied, and I found out about Marisa Peer. And she's British, and she created this other really great modality, which is called RTT, the
Yeah.
Rapid Transformational Therapy, which combines NLP, hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, and CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. So again, it has to do with your thoughts. But what we do is that once you find out what it is that you're not able to achieve, it's probably something that's blocking you from the past. It's like a negative belief that was created in your subconscious mind in the first years of your life. So I guess you must know that from the age of 0, or even before -0, when you're in the
Yeah.
womb,
Yeah.
until the age of 7, we only have our subconscious mind. There's no conscious mind. There's no logical mind to protect you. So whatever
Wow.
happens, whatever we hear, whatever you see, everything
Mm-hmm.
goes into your subconscious mind with no logical explanation. So if you hear uh, things when you're 3 or 7, or or 3 or 4, in like your teacher telling you something, oh, you made a mess, you're such an, things like that,
Yeah.
there's no logical mind to tell you, well, she didn't mean that. Don't worry about it. You're not an imbecile. So things and beliefs, negative beliefs, are being created in the subconscious mind. And then when you grow older, they keep
Oh,
coming up up in your life. So this is why I loved it, because with RTT, through hypnosis, you go straight to the root cause. You don't
wow.
just talk about it and peel it and peel everything off until you get to the root cause. You go straight to the root cause.
Wow.
So,
This is so
uh,
good. I've never heard anybody explain this like this. So almost so
mhm,
those thoughts that come into our mind up until we're 7 are somewhat like cemented in.
exactly,
They
they're
become the
a
root.
program. Yeah, they become a
Wow.
program, not just thoughts. I mean, there's incidents, or maybe something that you were told and it was really shocking,
Mm-hmm.
and that the baby, your nervous system, it's called, your young immature nervous system, created a belief that, okay, I will never try again, because, so imagine a scene. A 4-year-old kid waits for their mom to come home from work, and she wants to surprise her by cleaning something in the kitchen, but she's 4 year old. She makes a mess, and the mom's so tired. Oh, what did you do? This, oh, you just made a mess. Oh, look now. And the baby gets so shocked that
Mm,
maybe that moment she made this belief that I'm never going to try something again. I am just making a mess. I'm making my mom angry.
mm,
So this becomes like a programming. And then later on in life, they're scared to start something new, or there's different blocks that are created in life because of different beliefs that were created in the young nervous system.
wow.
So yeah, this is, yeah, I know. When
So good.
once you realize, I mean, like now, young parents, they should be careful what they say to
Mhm.
their kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
believe this so much. This is so good.
yeah, yeah. But then, so RTT, and I started using that modality to help, and somehow I got young adults coming to
Mm,
me to help them, because they're like in their 25, where they're not sure how to move forward, what to do. They procrastinate, or they don't feel good about themselves. They don't feel they feel not good enough.
yeah.
So doing sessions with them, I realized that, oh my God, it's us, the parents, that are to be blamed of
Mm,
how these kids are feeling. So I said, okay, I think I'll better start with the parents, how they talk to their children,
yeah.
how they communicate with their children, adult children. And so after having decided to do that, I had my own incident with my one of the sons.
Okay.
Uh, I have now, he's the eldest is 34 almost in August.
Hmm.
The younger one is 27. And I always thought that this young one, especially the young one, he's good looking, he's so talented in music and acting, so friendly. Wherever he goes, everybody loves him. It's like his
Mm.
father. um, Everybody loves him. He was so popular. So I thought, everything was going well. Um, so one night, when he was 22 or 23, I hear late at night, after midnight, the
Hmm.
doorbell rings, and it's him. He didn't drive because he was drunk. So his friend, a good friend, drove him home. So he didn't have his door, the keys to the door. So I see my son there crying, and I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I don't like my life anymore."
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, yes.
Yeah.
So I stayed up all night until he got sober and he slept. And I was wondering, why couldn't I see something? I
Mm,
thought everything was going well. So I realized that, it's like we have like a blurred vision. We don't see everything clearly because we have not healed our own inner child.
wow. Yeah.
It's like, so if you don't heal your own inner child, your own energy, it's like, the analogy that I like to use is like you have a window which is dirty,
Yeah.
and you get a cloth which is dirty, and you just keep rubbing it, but it's never going to get clean. You're not going to see clearly because your soul, your inner self, is still hurt. And so let's say if this cloth is your soul and
Yeah.
it's dirty, you can't clean the window to look around you to have a clear vision to what's going on with your adult child. So
Mm,
I started going in within, talking to
mm-hmm.
myself, doing my self hypnosis and meditation, and searching my own childhood and my own hurts or unmet needs. That's the most important, unmet needs.
Yeah.
And once I cleared my inner self, I realized that I should accept and love him exactly as he is. I realized that I was expecting things from him, and the way I I communicated them to him.
Mm,
I was pressuring him.
mm,
So we as parents have to realize that our children are not an extension of ourselves.
mm,
They're not here to continue what we weren't able to do. They're totally new souls and new human beings, and they're allowed to do what they want.
right.
And we just need to really accept them and listen to them.
Mm,
And to really accept them and listen to them, we have to have this clear energy.
mm,
Because when we listen to them and just listen to them and just say, "Yeah, I love you and accept you," but from within, there's this bad energy left from behind, it's
yeah.
it's it's not real. It's not real, this acceptance.
Wow. That's really powerful. I have so much. I could talk to you for hours about this. Um, how exactly, or I know this is what you do for your coaching, and we're going to talk about that because you have an offer coming up or a class, a free thing that
Hmm.
people can attend. But how do you help people? So do you work with the parents and
Yeah.
or the young adult and kind of help
First,
parents
yeah,
get
yeah.
clear?
First, I start with the parents because from the day I decided to take this, and I search, and I find there, I am so amazed and so sad that there's so many parents that
Mm,
are distant and then estranged from their adult children. I mean, in a
yeah,
way that I can't believe it. And I'm sure that none of the two parties love it. I mean, I like it. I mean, parent
yeah,
wants to build the bridge again, and I'm sure
yeah,
the adult child wants to have this loving parent.
right.
So I created this program called Trust,
Mm,
because it's all about trust, right?
yeah,
Trusting God. I
yep,
I I mean, uh, trust in God, trust your child, trust your instinct. And the word trust is made out of these letters, and each letter is the acronym of my modules of that program. So the
wonderful.
first T of trust is talk to me. Talk it all out. Just tell me all about it. What's going on with you, to the parent, right?
Okay.
What's
Mm-hmm.
going on with you? And then there are, after we talk, the first session, okay, what is it that you want to release?
Mm,
I mean, what kind of feeling, what kind of behavior, what is it that you want to release?
mm,
And then the U is the uncover, and that's why we do this RTT session, and we go back to the childhood of the parent, and we find out what happened then that is making you feel this way now.
Yeah.
because it all has to do with from the past.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the S
Mm-hmm.
is this the other is the self love and self acceptance,
Mm,
because once you self accept and love yourself, it's easier to love and accept your child or
right.
anybody else in that matter. And then the T, the last T, is how you talk now to your adult child. We do it as sort of a visualization. We bring up incidents. Okay, so this and this happens. How are you going to talk to them now? So this
Mm.
is my program.
Ah, it's
Uh,
beautiful. How many weeks is that? Your
well,
program?
the minimum is six
6 weeks.
weeks,
Okay.
but I think 3 months is better
Yeah.
because yeah, we need this weekly we do these weekly support calls with
Okay.
me and the parent.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is so great and so timely and beautiful and wonderful in so many ways. I think the world needs you. I see so many fractured relationships, and so
yeah,
your work is just much much needed. And I agree. I think it comes from us, the parent. It's us owning the mistakes we've made and taking a look at ourselves and our fractured moments. Do you do any work with those of us that come from narcissistic families and dynamics? Um, is that a word that you use?
I
Familiar
know
with?
the word. Oh, of course I
Yeah,
know it. And
yeah,
I haven't worked with a narcissist, and
right.
I wouldn't
Yeah, but
actually.
how about a child
Yeah,
like for me, like who comes
yeah,
from that family dynamic and continue to work really, really hard on the growth to break that pattern, which I've done. We have a wonderful relationship with our 4 kids. I've worked really, really hard at that. But
yeah,
that dynamic that, that's a word I know that's thrown out a lot. I've heard somebody call it someone that hijacks the relationship, which I love that term because a
yeah.
narcissist never admits they are, right?
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
but how do we, as parents, we want to break that cycle. People don't talk about this very much.
So your question is that, let's say, I don't know if you're saying that you're a child of a narcissist. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, for sure.
definitely you had a lot of traumas, and you
Yes.
said that you worked them out, and so now you can communicate with your children
I'm a constant
well.
work. Yeah, I think I'm a constant work in progress. That's what
We
I
are,
say.
we all are, we
You
all
know?
are. But definitely somebody who grew up with a narcissistic parent, there's so much work. Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
been a
that's
lot of work.
so good of you that you managed. That's so good of you. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. So when I learned what you do, I just got so excited because young adults today need people like you. They need advocates. There's, more and more globally, I think we're seeing these fractured
Mhm.
relationships for a
Yeah,
variety of reasons, political views, religious views, whatever it is that
yeah,
is
yeah,
there. And I just want to see parents embrace their role and not abandon ship and, really work really hard. These relationships are important. So,
yeah, yeah.
um,
My program and what I do is not just for parents and adult children. It's for anyone who feels distant from a loved one, or even like um, a person who feels that, even in the workplace, they
mm,
find that very very often they get like bad they bad communication with their peers, let's say.
yeah.
And even though they try and they do all the inner work to be able to communicate better, still it's as if there is some bad energy coming. So imagine, again, analogies.
Okay. I love
You have
analogies.
you have a tooth that's decayed there. So you brush your teeth and you take all this mouthwash and you're to have a good smell. But somewhere in the line, again, the smell is coming.
Mm,
Unless you take care of that too, the smell is going to come. So it's the same with our soul, our inner energy. Maybe you've done some work
mm,
with some psychotherapy, or with psychologists, but there is something left really, really deep there. So
mm,
that's the bad energy that comes from your mouth. So you try to communicate, but then every now and then you get these really bad communication vibes because
Yeah.
there's still that thing from within, from really deep, that's coming out, and it's destroying your communication. So I mean, I'm saying that because I know of an example of a young 35-year-old that he does so much work, but at his work, very often he comes into a bad. And I know for sure, and it's because he has so much anger and resentment because of his father,
Mm-hmm.
and he needs to go there to his
Mm,
own child self and nurture that child self.
mm,
Tell it all the words that he didn't hear from his father. Tell it that you're good enough, you're loved, it's not your fault, to take care of their child self.
mm,
And that is going to probably get rid of that deep, deep bad energy. And that I'm sure is going to change the whole energies
mm.
surrounding him. And so it's not just for parents, adult children. The reason why I did this is because of my challenge that I had with my son,
Okay.
that I didn't realize that there was something going on with him. I didn't realize it's just I had a cloud and I couldn't see clearly what was going on with inside of him.
But it's so wonderful, Tatiana, that you saw it. You know what I mean? That there came that time and moment. You were open.
Yeah.
Your heart, you obviously you care about your children and your family enough that you were open to see that something wasn't right,
Yeah.
and that you were able to do your work at a deep level too. And how, may I ask how he's doing now? How is he?
Yeah, he's so both of them now live in Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
They started there and they stayed there,
Okay.
and both of them work. So this one, I told you, he's really, really talented, and he works at a shop with vintage clothing, secondhand clothing, which is really in fashion now. The youngsters, they don't want to buy new clothes because of yeah. And he also does improvisation, stand-up comedian, and he also sings.
Oh, wow.
We were there last week, in May. So we were walking with him in Amsterdam, and people say, "Oh, hi, Flip! Oh, hi!" Everybody knew him. I said, "We're not in Cyprus." I mean, he's so he's so open and lovable and sociable and he's big. He's really big. So I call him the gentle giant ever since
Ah,
he was because he's giant and he's really gentle. Yeah.
sounds like he's very,
Yeah.
very magnetic too. People are just drawn to him. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
So I told him many times because when he was born, when I gave birth to him, I had this I don't know, we have time?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
we've
what.
got 30 minutes. We're good.
Okay. Okay, so when I gave birth to him, I had this really it's called amniotic fluid embolism. So I gave birth to him, and then I had this hemorrhage.
Oh,
That
wow.
maybe some moms die on the
Yeah.
because of hemorrhage. Also, my the obstetrician, the gynecologist knew exactly what he had to do. I went to operation. I had when you take up the womb vasectomy, when you take the womb,
Yeah,
yes,
hysterectomy.
he said hysterectomy. Yeah, 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 hysterectomy. So that's why I couldn't have another child. But anyway,
Okay.
it was the only way to stop the hemorrhage was to have a
Yeah.
hysterectomy. So I didn't hold my baby because immediately they took me to operation. I didn't hold him, and then I couldn't breastfeed him and hold him for the first 2 days because I was in medication. My Anyway, it was 15 days of recovering because of so much. I lost 6 liters of blood. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I just barely made it. So I
Wow.
remember saying on the operating room, the doctor said, We have to do this, otherwise you're going to die." And I remember saying, because I didn't meet the baby, but I had in my mind my 6.5-year-old boy that was waiting, and I said, "Please don't let me die. How about Theodore?" So I talked about my other boy, but not him. And then I
Wow.
didn't hold him. So I told him now, because he knows about RTT,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not sure what kind of programming you made into your inner into your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Maybe you felt unwanted, maybe you felt I mean, even though after a week I held him, I gave him so much love. You
Yeah.
never know what that baby's the nervous system of that baby created in his subconscious mind. So I told him many times, you have to go and talk to your baby self and give him so much love. So I hope he does it, because I believe
Yeah.
that maybe the reason why he felt not good about himself, maybe it's because he had this wrong programming that I was unwanted, and I was an unwanted child because I couldn't hold him, the
Yeah.
first days. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that fascinating? I mean, they talk about that, how powerful that touch and that connection is with the parent. And now they're saying parents, even the father,
Mm-hmm.
in those early
Yeah.
moments of birth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
I find all this so fascinating. It's just
Mm-hmm.
so amazing,
Yeah.
just gives such insight to our humanity and how complex we are and
Oh.
how powerful
Oh.
God is, it's a
Yeah.
miracle that any of us are here and how we navigate this
Exactly.
crazy life, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
We are a miracle, and our life is a miracle, and we have to be so grateful. Yeah.
oh, every
Mm-hmm.
day. And I just love who you are. You have such great energy and I just think your passion and compassion to take ownership of who you are as a parent and even, that moment with your son standing at the door is just it says so much of who you are. I just am so excited. And I know I would love for people to connect with you. Anybody that's has had any trauma, difficulty communicating with their children, their adult children, or at work, or how they feel about themselves. I think you would be such a wonderful person to talk to. I love that your program is called Trust. I think that is
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Share a little bit about you have an upcoming free 3-day class. I've signed up for this because I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to share a little bit about that? It's on Zoom, I think, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's going to be 6 p.m. my time, so it's going to be so 6:18. So it's like 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah, our time.
Yeah,
Well,
your
Pacific
time.
Standard Time. So that'll be 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
Yeah,
great
it's not
time.
it's not it's not bad.
No.
Well, maybe people are working, but yeah, it's going to be. I'm going to give some part of what my program Trust is all about.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to talk about how we can clear our inner selves, our energy, in order to have better conversations with our children or our loved ones.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and hopefully, you know, it's going to be more improvisation. Hopefully I'm going to have somebody asking questions. This and this is happening, and I feel this, and how do you think? So we'll see how it goes. We had some other free trainings, but it's mostly visiting our past, relaxing. I'm going to put some music and I'm going to ask some questions, and
Mm,
each and everyone who's attending will visit their child self, their childhood time, and I will be asking some questions and some answers will come. When you're in a relaxed state,
mm,
you're mostly in communication with your subconscious, and
right.
in the subconscious that all the feelings and all the pictures and all the memories are.
Yeah.
Our conscious mind, our everyday mind, our logical mind is just for what should I buy today, or where's my shopping list, or what I should call this guy. And this is our logical mind. The subconscious mind is all the feelings. It's the
Mm,
emotional mind. So we want to get in touch with the emotional mind, because this is where the beliefs and the traumas and this is where everything is stored. The not being good enough is the
yeah. Mm,
most common belief that we all have. Yeah.
wow. Oh, that's so interesting. And so much of that, does that stem from that childhood? Because I wrote down, I think so often we get so busy that we don't, I'm very in tune to my subconscious. I love, like, I get up in the morning and I journal first thing, and I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of wait what I say for my God moments or my downloads. A lot comes to me when I'm writing, and not every day. Some things are like, wow, and some things are like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But do we get busy sometimes? We don't really, sometimes we don't want to face our subconscious. Like, we cover up that pain, that trauma by being busy, by not slowing down. Because sometimes
Exactly.
it's hard to face it, right? But we can't face it until we name it, which seems
Mm-hmm.
like you really help people really do. You help them name that.
Name that. Yes, yes.
Hmm.
You can't solve anything unless you know what it is, right?
Right, right, right.
So, and as you said, we are all so busy listening to things
Mm,
uh, all the time. All the time, I mean, so we need to have at least 10 or 15 minutes of quiet time,
mm,
and close our eyes and breathe in, and listen to our inner self, our subconscious mind.
mm.
Well, you have to ask it some questions, of course, but yeah. So exactly, we're so busy every day listening to things that we never listen to our inner selves because
Yeah.
yeah,
We're too busy. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'm looking forward to that. And so I would really encourage anyone listening in. I'm going to put all that here in the show notes where you can reach out to Tatiana, where you can sign up for her free masterclass. It's a 3-day challenge, I'm calling it, and get to
yeah.
know her.
It's only 1 hour to 60 to 90 minutes each time. It's not like a day. Oh,
Great.
yeah. I call it 3 day, but it's not full day. It's just it's 3 days in a row. That's why I call it three
Excellent.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's so good. And it really allows people to connect with you. And it sounds like it's going to really allow people to kind of go inward and get a taste of your work. So outside of that, if people want to work with you, you mentioned that you have your T.R.U.S.T program, and I'll link you have a wonderful website, and I'll
Oh,
link that here so for people can connect with you that way or reach out and do a call. Do you offer like a
yeah,
clarity call?
yeah, I
Okay.
do. I do. Yeah, it's a half hour. So I have my Calendly link there for a 30-minute
Okay.
free call. Yeah, the website, and also I don't know if we can drop the Instagram or Facebook, or you don't. Do you can
Yeah, I put all that in. I'll put your
mm,
Instagram, your Facebook, your website, and then I'll put the link to your 3-day class
okay.
as well so
Okay.
people can connect with
Excellent.
you and really follow her, you guys. She does some just great things. I just think this is such a need for all of us. I think we're in a pretty broken world. I think people need a lot of help, and so much of it starts with us, doesn't it, right? It really
Mm-hmm,
starts with
mm-hmm.
us taking a look at
Exactly.
ourselves and who we are and how we show up in the world to make a difference. And
Mm-hmm.
I think young people, post COVID, I don't know how you all feel, but I think post COVID, there's so many, it's almost like I feel like it was the straw that broke the camel's back, for lack of a better word. It was just like something that kind of fractured people. It fractured families. It fractured, relationships. It fractured people's jobs and careers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that we are in such a place of needing such healing and restoration in so
Yeah.
many ways.
Yeah.
And, it all starts from taking a look at ourselves. So I just love what you do. Have I missed
Thank you so much.
anything?
So thank you so much, Terry. I mean, I'm so honored that you you invited me, and
Well,
yeah.
I love this. And for those of you that are listening in, I was sharing with Tatiana that, my journey started doing this podcast and using my voice. And for me now, that the mission and my passion to give other women a platform to use their voice, to share who they are, how they landed here, and the difference that they're making in the world, right? I see
Hmm.
so many, especially midlife women, doing some amazing things. We all have our story, we all have our journey through our life. And I get so excited to see women like you who have pivoted and done something to really contribute beautifully back into the world. And it's a
Thank you.
gift. It's
Well,
a gift.
one thing that COVID brought is this Zoom connection. We would never be able to do this.
Isn't that true? I mean, think about it. I
Yeah.
have friends in New Zealand and Europe and, London and just
Yeah. Yeah.
globally. And it's so much fun to be able to connect with people around the world.
Yeah. You know, The other day when we were in Amsterdam, I met with another lady that we connected and met each other on on like these platforms. And when she said that she's from Amsterdam, I said, "Oh, I have to meet you because everybody I know through the screen, you you and me have to meet." And we met, and we met. It was so nice to meet somebody, physically.
So you met her in
Yeah.
person when you went to Amsterdam.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
how
yes,
lovely. Isn't
yes.
that so much fun? Like you make these
Hmm.
connections online and then you actually meet that person
Yeah,
person in person.
yeah.
It's beautiful. So, oh,
Mhm.
that's wonderful.
I hope you come
Um,
to Europe. If you come to
I,
Europe.
I would love to come to Cyprus. I
Yeah,
actually, that's one of the things I was just going to tell you. Like, it just,
yeah.
what a beautiful place to be, right? Like I have one son in particular that's very well globally traveled. I'm like, oh, I need to tell him he needs to go to Cyprus. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's just beautiful. So tell a fun fact about yourself, something that I haven't shared. Is there anything that you'd like to share that's a fun fact about yourself that you'd like the
Uh,
listeners to know?
yeah. Oh, I think I had prepared to say something, but I forgot. Well,
I know
that's
you're
such
a
a fun.
twin. That's okay. You're a
Yeah.
twin. That's fun.
Yeah, and we look very much alike, even though we're fraternal,
Oh,
but we look
okay.
very much alike. Okay, so one thing and we did in Boston University,
Uh-huh.
she was going to go visit her boyfriend, and she didn't want to miss her French class. And she said, "Can you go for me?" What? I did.
Oh my gosh.
I did. I sat at the back, and all the classmates came and said hi and everything. And I didn't know them, so I said hi, hi. So I stayed through the class. Nobody understood that it was not her but me because we look very much alike. So I went back and said, "Oh, don't make me do this again." I was feeling so I didn't know, I didn't know the people, but nobody. The next day when she went, she told her classmates, it was my twin sister. Oh, really?
That's amazing.
It was just a French class where was nothing from, because she studied early childhood education and I
Yeah.
was in the management school. So if it were another class, I wouldn't be able to attend, but it was elective French. So I
Oh.
could that for her. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a great story. That's a great benefit of being a twin.
Yeah.
Did you like being at BU? I love Boston so much. It was such a
Mm.
great
I
experience for both my boys.
never went back ever since. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just a great,
Yeah.
it's grown so much. It's just
I'm
amazing
sure.
now. It's a
Yeah.
huge campus now. Have I missed anything that you would like to add? Just a little bit of anything? I mean, we talked a lot about RTT and different things like that. Is there anything I've missed that you'd like to share?
No. Well, for me, it's whatever you do, if you do it with an intention of love,
Mm,
and then things are going to go well. So it's something also that I tell youngsters or my kids, what it is, what it what is it that you want to do? If what you want to do is for the good of all,
yeah.
then you are going to succeed.
Mm,
Um, I mean, if it's going to hurt somebody, it means that you shouldn't be doing it. But if it's for the good of all, go ahead and do it.
mm,
And also, I mean, this energy that I'm talking about.
yeah.
Don't you see some people that wherever they go, they everything is well. I mean, everything is going well. They get friends and they never argue. Or it's this energy that comes from within,
Mm,
and it comes from above, of course, from God. It goes within and all around you. And then you get these people that one misfortune after the other, or they get into arguments, or they go somewhere and they can't communicate well. It's the bad energy that they have within,
mm,
but it's not their fault.
mm,
I believe that we all come in on this earth with the same clear soul and energy,
mm,
exactly the same, but then things happen, and so this energy gets filled up with all this negativity. And if you don't do something about clearing this negativity, it comes and it fills up. Then all this bad energy is surrounding you, and then it means that you draw even
mm.
more bad into your life.
Yeah,
So this inner clearance is something that we should be doing.
Mm. That's so
Yeah.
good too. I mean, it's probably a whole other topic, but I was just thinking as you're talking, like so much of it too, it gets trapped in our bodies too, right? In our, not
Yeah.
only our physical bodies, but our spirits. And like you said, I think how much that kind of we emanate that out, and that's what we end up attracting, that
Yeah.
negative or
Yeah.
the positive. It could be one way or the other, but
Yeah.
I think it's a misstep when we don't do our own work, right? It's
Yeah.
constant. We have to.
But
So
don't you believe that we all come on this earth exactly the same? The
I
same,
do.
it's we are souls
Yeah.
coming into a body, and
Yeah.
our soul is just clear,
Mm.
and then
Yeah.
things happen. Yeah.
Yes, I
So
believe very much God sends us into this world as this pure, innocent, this baby with that clean, clear energy. And it's what happens to us once we land here.
yeah,
That,
yeah, yeah.
right?
And the same two things can happen to kids, but
Mm,
the way they interpreted it back then, their nervous system. So let's say that we have two kids that something happened to them. The one ends up going this way, and the other one ends up going the one in the bad way, the other one in a good way. It's because of that uh, interpretation each kid made into their subconscious mind, into their nervous system. So this created a different belief in each other each kid. So that's why their lives in the future it turned out different. It was that too
wow.
complicated the way I
No, it's just,
no.
that's very deep and
Mm.
just makes me think about that in one family, it's the way the child interprets, not
Exactly.
interpretate,
Yeah. Yeah.
interprets
But
their
yeah.
upbringing and communication. And I also think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because this is a dynamic in my family. I'm the oldest of four. I
Oh.
have a different mom than I have a different mom than my youngest sister had. I'm 13 years oldest than my youngest sister. My mom was a
Mhm.
very different parent to her than she was to me, and even to the three of us that are older in age. So I think that can happen as well. And correct me if I'm wrong in that, but her experience was very different than mine.
Your sisters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
really fascinating. I'm so intrigued by all of this. I think it's interesting. And I think we have a responsibility, to be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah. I know it sounds cliche, this best version of ourselves, but it is. We can be the best version of ourselves. we we
Yeah.
have to be. We have to be. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Because
that
this is why we're here. We are here. I mean, God brought us here to create and to leave something behind,
mhm.
even a small thing,
Mm,
even a small thing. And we don't have to be, I don't know, these big heroes. But if somebody remembers you by, helping your neighbor, or something to
right.
remember you by, you've left something that made your neighbor or your city a bit better,
Right.
or even or yeah, small, even something small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And before we close, I guess I want to say,
Yeah.
what would you say to parents that are struggling with their relationship with their children? Reach out to you. But
Mhm.
what would you encourage them to do that are having this fractured relationship with them? Where would you encourage them to start? Maybe that's a really
Well,
big question.
if they're still in communication, they should listen without saying, yeah, yes, but I didn't mean it this way. Yes, but I only wanted what was best for. Just listen to them, because you don't know how they interpreted it in their heart. So let
Mm,
them say what they felt, and
mm,
just take it and say, "Oh, I'm really sorry that you felt this way. Thank you for sharing, and I promise that I will do better." But also the parent themselves, they have to do this inner clearance
mm,
to find out and nurture their own inner child, because
mm,
this is what comes out. It comes their own inner child, their own inner hurt child comes out, and this is the
mm.
energy that creates this.
And that hurt
Yeah.
child is the one that responds instead of just really listening and not taking it personally to what the adult child is saying, right? Listen
Yeah,
and not
yeah,
be defensive in the response.
yeah, the parent still has a hurt child inside.
Mm.
So it's as if they're mirroring that to their own adult child.
Mm.
Yeah, this, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I just thank you for your time. I know you have to go, but I want to thank you so much, Tatiana. You are just beautiful. You are a beautiful soul. Your energy is amazing. And I definitely have some amazing key takeaways that I can apply to my own life and continue to work on myself and heal my own inner child and work on my own relationships with my adult children and my husband and those around me. So thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to your class. Everyone, I'm just so excited. Please sign up for her 3-day masterclass that is coming up. What are the dates? June
4th, Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I just think you're doing some really great work, and I want to thank you
so much, Terry.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up. If this episode resonates with you, please share it with a friend, someone that might need a little bit of encouragement today. And if you could be so kind just to take a moment and leave me a review, I would love that. This helps other women know what we are doing here in this space and helps them find this podcast. Because as I said in the beginning, my goal is to help you feel a little bit of inspiration each day and to step forward. And I'm here if you need some extra support with the coaching, with my Elevate coaching, and with my Speak class. Keep stepping forward. God bless.